Well, it's a big show. Oh, it's a big bad show.
Oh, yeah, it's the big show. Oh, you know it. Tell them about it.
Yeah, it's a big show.
Yes, it's the big show. I'm Ralph Williams, and this is Ralph's Opinion Local Special Sunday edition this week. I was ill on Wednesday. I was having issues with my eyes. My eyes are feeling better. Thank you for all the prayers. So that's why we moved it to today at 5 o'clock. Tonight at 7 p.m. Don't forget about Bible Capsule with me, Ralph Williams. We have some scripture in regards to faith, which we're going to continue in our series on faith until the end of this month. And then we're going to move into another topic on Bible Capsule. That's coming up at 7 o'clock tonight. All right, everybody. It's great to be here. As always, I missed you guys on Wednesday, and it's sorry about that again. As I mentioned, I was having issues with my eyes, so that's why I was unable to be a part of the show. We're in the Mata Heating and Air Conditioning Studio, 724-2010-500. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Mata today. You ought to call Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. All right. Also, please don't forget about the new Sports Corner radio show. We're going to be on our fourth show coming up next week, 2 to 3 p.m. every Saturday on 1250 a.m., 92.5 FM. The Answer. Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, and Luther Dupree. And don't forget, coming up on November 9th, Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 1250 a.m., 92.5 FM. The Answer, starting November 9th, the Ralph Williams Show with me, Ralph Williams. I'm working on getting a really good quality guest for the first show as well. All right. All righty. We're going to come up on our topics for today, and we have plenty to talk about. I mean, I'm talking some serious issues today that we need to talk about here on Ralph's Opinion. All right. All right. I have here some cities over the years that have called the National Guard. And this topic right here today is brought to you in part by Big Dogs Auto. Call Big Dogs Auto today at 412-999-0191. Big Dogs Auto. All right. But anyway, main reason I did this today was to point out to everybody, and I'm talking about point out to everybody, all right, that sometimes you need to call the National Guard. And I want to know why the city of Pittsburgh will not call the National Guard to come in and help the police, help get order in this town. Because in case anyone's not aware, this town is out of order. Pittsburgh is out of order, big time out of order. Okay? All right? So where we are today with this is simple, that the National Guard needs to be called in. And there's no shame in that, as I've tried to mention many times on this program. So Washington, D.C., many years ago, called in the National Guard to stop crime, dealt with the crime problem. Okay. Brookside, a community outside of, I believe this is Boston. Wait a minute. Brookside community. Oh, wow. I can't even read my own handwriting. That's pretty sad. Okay. Outside a Brookside community, I think it's outside of New York somewhere or something, called in the National Guard as well because they had a drug problem. So why are we, the city of Pittsburgh, not calling in the National Guard? Explain that to me one time. Somebody please tell me why Mayor Gainey and his administration will not call in the National Guard. We have a homeless problem. We have drugs all over the place. We have people, youth running around downtown causing problems. We have the South Side to deal with and many other issues. We have a shortened police staff. I just gave you 7 reasons why we need to call the National Guard in here to the city of Pittsburgh. Okay? All right? That's Ralph's Opinion Local on that today. And we have to go through some of these topics quite quickly because I have a lot to talk about today. And, so we're only here till 6. So, and don't forget 7 o'clock tonight later on, the Bible Capsule with me, Ralph Williams. We have scriptures on faith that we're going to be talking about tonight. All right. Pittsburgh Public Schools has a $23.5 million deficit. And what do they want to do? They want to close schools down again. All right. Now, the biggest problem I have with Pittsburgh Public Schools is every time they have a deficit, they want to close schools down. All right. And I had Jake Halk on The Way We See It last year, and he said to us, to myself and Bill Canada, that it was very he was quite unhappy with the way that the Pittsburgh Public Schools, and they've been doing this for 20, 30 years, have been conducting themselves. Okay. It's very sad about the way they have conduct business. All right. It's sad to see the fact that this has happened in the city of Pittsburgh with this school district for over 20 or more years. This school system hasn't worked properly. They've had bad superintendents, bad board members, bad everything. Okay. And now they want to close all these schools. They have a bunch of them. And again, they call it reorganization. And due to the people saying things, Carrick High School has been salvaged. They were going to turn that into a tech school, which I have no problem with because I went to South Votech, took up some vocational classes, technical classes. All right. I have no issues with that kind of a high school at Carrick. Why not? We need trade people because we're lazy as usual, and nobody wants to work. So, but I mean, the Pittsburgh Public Schools closing schools every year has become a major issue. All right. Ralph's opinion on that. City Council promised to turn an old home and building into a homeless shelter. Now, here's what the city of Pittsburgh did. Okay. They are trying to find ways to get rid of the homeless. And I get city council's approach at this. Okay. They're looking at buildings in all different types of communities that they want to try to use. All right. Oh, how you doing there, Will? Good evening. Thank you for being part of the program as always. Welcome to Ralph's Opinion Local. Will's on with me on the round table on Wednesday night with Jeremy Ballrick. I was not there this Wednesday because, as I mentioned, all last week I had an eye issue, and it took me 6 years to get an appointment to go see an eye doctor, and I finally was able to get an emergency appointment, and I got my eyes pretty much straightened out. So I'm in pretty decent shape here. All right. So, but thank you for the prayers and the support. I got some great supporting emails, and I want to appreciate you on that as well. Also, I found out from Claudia Rosano, Luther Dupree, and some others that a lot of folks are now listening to the Sports Corner radio show every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. And so on 1250 a.m., 92.5 FM, the answer. And I want to thank management there for letting me put on my programs. All right. Laws 22 says, glad you got that situated. Amen. Thank you for that. And let's see. As Howard would say, okay. You got that. You got that right, Will. Thank you. All right. Let's get back to the city council. They had said to the people of Stanton Heights, which of course probably didn't listen, that they were going to take the old Villa Demerlick nursing home and turn it into a homeless shelter. Well, apparently now the people up there are challenging this now because they're starting to put homeless people in there, and there was no, I guess, the city council thought people were stupid. What I mean by that is they needed the proper paperwork in order to put the, to make it into a homeless shelter, from a nursing home into a homeless shelter. Well, apparently somebody looked this up. I don't know who. Maybe it was a city employee who don't like the city or something. But somebody did something and they found out that there was not the proper paperwork put in to make that into a homeless shelter. So now the city's being challenged on the fact that the Villa Demerlick nursing home is not a homeless place. Okay, up in Stanton Heights. Well, it turns out now city council wants to do this across the city. They have old school buildings, old nursing homes, old office buildings, whatever. And now Teresa Cale Smith, who's the city council woman on city council, is bitching and complaining, okay, that she doesn't want this stuff in her community. All right. Now, this happened in Swissville about 5 years ago. They had talked about putting a bunch of halfway houses up, and they have some there now. The mayor of Swissville said, I had enough. He complained to the county, and they didn't do it. All right. Because from what I understand, of all the areas around in the Pittsburgh area, Swissville has the most of the halfway houses. Okay. Now, Swissville said they're tired of it. They don't want them there. Okay. So now everyone's complaining about these homeless people being in their community. All right. But what are you going to do? Explain to me when you go downtown next time, and a homeless person robs you, or you see a robbery in progress, or you see somebody doing drugs, prostitution, and whatever else that's involved with some of these homeless people. And again, I'm not saying they all do this. All right. So if you're gonna complain about this, you better beware, because when you go downtown, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna have a problem with homeless. You're gonna have crime. Okay. And in case you're not aware, downtown is your epicenter of your city. I know, oh, I don't want these homeless people in my community. I gave city council a simple solution to this problem, and they have done nothing to rectify it. And it's not that hard. They have a site that belonged to the VA, the Veterans Administration Hospital, and they bought it for $1 in 2017 and have done zero with it. That site is huge. There's 15 buildings up there. There's a big site up there. Why can't you build tiny homes or put these homeless people up there? Why? Out of sight, out of mind. You don't have to worry about it anymore if you go downtown. And it's so desolate that they'll be close to services. They can walk. They'll be close to services. They can go out there, and get what they need to get. Or send social services up there to go do it. Okay? Put security up there. Make sure it works fine. There, you got your homeless camp. You got your homeless area. Okay? Until the city of Pittsburgh gets this situation straightened out, and Sarah Almirado, our county executive, who says she's trying to get 500 homes or affordable housing within 500 days. All right? Until that is fulfilled and we can find places for these people, I propose, and I think you should call your city council person, call the mayor's office and complain and say, listen, I want them homeless people at the Highland Drive VA. Next time I'm out that way, I'm going to take pictures of the site and show it to you, because that site is the site that should be used for homeless people. You can take everybody out of every camp community and tent community you have downtown, so they stop beating up on runners. I played the audio on the last show that I did, or on The Way We See It. I played the audio of the guy who got beat up by a homeless person on one of the trails behind the jail. Okay? All right? And this is only going to continue if the city doesn't do something about this. And I gave them this simple solution to this problem, and they've done absolutely nothing. Nothing whatsoever. Okay? Nothing at all. All right? So I don't want to hear from the people in Stanton Heights sending me emails going, Ralph, you don't know. My grandparents lived in Stanton Heights. I lived with my grandma. I know what Stanton Heights is all about. I grew up practically in Stanton Heights. I have friends that live in Stanton Heights. It's a 60-bed facility that was once a nursing home. Rather than it sit there and go decrepit, they're going to have homeless people living there. And the city says it's going to be secured. There will be no problems. There will be nobody going up into the woods robbing people's homes. Okay? All right? I don't know what happened to Light of Life Mission. They have a brand new homeless facility over there on the north side, right on Ridge Avenue, right over there by Community College. But nobody wants to go there because it's a controlled environment. These homeless people do not want controlled environment. They don't want to seek help. They don't want to do anything. Those are the people that need to go up to the Highland Drive VA. the people who actually want to get a home and want to make a life for themselves, I agree with helping them. But the rest of them, up to the Highland Drive VA, out of sight, out of mind. And if it doesn't happen soon, it's going to get worse. Okay? So we don't need to argue and fight amongst each other because we don't need to worry about these communities in our neighborhood because you know why? Put them up at the Highland Drive VA. And I will guarantee you, and I'll come on this program, I'll shut this program down if it doesn't work because I know it will. There's a security fence there. There's a security thing with a little arm that goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Put a guard in there, an armed guard. Have a guard, 2 guards there, each shift. One drives around with a golf cart or a truck. Put your homeless community up there. If you want to send meals up to them, fine. If you want to go up there with your communities, fine. They're on their own. They can walk over to Lincoln and Leamington Avenue and catch a bus. They're not that far away from that if they want to walk. Okay? Walk down the hill to Washington Boulevard and up another hill and you're at the bus. Okay? Maybe provide shuttles, get a donation. I don't know what the answer is to that, but put them there because that would be the perfect spot for them to be so that we don't have to worry about them. When we go downtown and we don't have to look over our shoulder and we don't have to do this and we don't have to do that. And we don't have to carry weapons or do anything. Because I'm going downtown tomorrow and I will guarantee you if one homeless or anybody harasses me, they're going to have a problem. Okay? Unlike you, I don't play around with people like this. I don't have the time. Somebody's got to set an example here, and it might as well be me. All right? Somebody will get hurt if you think you're going to mess with me tomorrow when I go downtown. Okay? Go ahead and try. I'm not playing around no more. And no one should have to. And no one should have to resort to any of this if the National Guard was here to secure downtown. And guess what? That is the Ralph's Opinion Local today. All right. Okay. Our next segment coming up, we're going to talk about the county council budget. All right. And that's brought to you today by Alex's Flowers, 412-661-6071 or 6271. Call Alex today and get a hold of him. Hey, 30 years in the business of doing flowers. He's a Pitt grad. He's done it all. Weddings, funerals, parties. If you need anything for your sweetheart, delivery, Alex's Flowers. Call him today. Get on his website, alexsflowers.com, 412-661-6071 or 6271. I'm sorry, Alex's Flowers. All right. Also, this segment is also brought to you in part by Robin Campbell Insurance, 412-366-3399, 412-366-3399. I've been dealing with Robin for 15 years. I insure my vehicle. I get renters from him, and I also have life insurance and a whole lot more from him. You can do the same. Call Robin today, 412-366-3399. He has Farmers and Bristol West Insurance. And we're in the Mata Heating and Air Conditioning Studio, 724-201-0500, Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. All right, we're back here. Ralph's Opinion Local, special Sunday edition today. I wasn't unavailable on Wednesday. I had an eye issue, and I've been struggling with that all last week, but we're back in business now. I was able to get an emergency appointment with the eye doctor. Something I've talked about here. Western Psych employees going on strike. Not enough doctors, not enough veterinarians, not enough dentists. Takes 3 months to get a dental appointment. Took me forever to find a podiatrist that had an open appointment for my feet. Okay. This is unacceptable in this country. And it goes on all the time. Why? Because nobody wants to work. Dentists are stepping down because they've been in the business for 40 years and they got to do their own work because nobody wants to be a secretary. Nobody wants to put scrubs on and go work. Nobody wants to make $15, $20 an hour because everybody's waiting for Joe Biden's stimulus checks, which are no longer coming around. So you spend all COVID going out, getting high, getting drunk, okay? and playing Xbox and Xbox and oh gosh, gee whiz, Xbox and whatever. I forget the other one off the top of my head right now. But anyway, all right, and PlayStation. That's your life. It's a lot of people's lives, not only in Pittsburgh but in this country. And I've never seen the laziness I'm seeing now. And you go ahead and you complain and you get mad because there are immigrants in Charleroi. You get mad because there's this and that going on with immigrants. You get mad because the Mexicans are driving trucks. You get mad because the immigrants are picking tomatoes. But you didn't want these jobs. You didn't want to work. So they're here to work. And you know what's funny? The ones that are legal are the ones who appreciate it. They don't mind working here. They don't mind doing a job. They don't mind working hard. And they're getting paid what you could be getting paid, but you don't want to work. Well, guess what? If Donald Trump becomes president, I'm going to say this here because I'm not doing a Ralph's opinion because of what happened last Wednesday, but I'll be back Wednesday with Ralph's opinion. I normally talk about this. If Donald Trump gets elected, my question to you is, are you going to work for him? And I want an answer by Wednesday, 7:00, Ralph's opinion. I want an answer by Wednesday because I want to know if you're going to work for him because you didn't work for Biden. Or are you going to stay mute, which is, I'm going to be lazy. I'm going to sit around. I'm not going to do anything. Okay. County council budget. Let's talk about that for a minute. All right. Oh, by the way, speaking of homeless, November, 2nd Avenue Commons opens up, but I'm not sure when, but they said November. Okay. So there's about 100 beds there. So there should be what? There's supposedly 400 people staying in these homeless camps. So, or tent camps or homeless in the city of Pittsburgh. So that would be 100 beds there. That's 360 beds if in Stanton Heights if those people don't complain. So we're down to what? 240. Okay. 240 in beds or spots. I don't know how many people are in that Light of Life, that new Light of Life place. From what I understand, there's nobody there because they don't like the structured environment. You have to go out and get a job. You can't smoke and smoke pot and drink. You can't rob people. You have to be back at a certain time. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's called structured. And people that are homeless, and then we'll get to the budget here, don't like structure. They don't like structure. They don't like the fact they can't smoke pot, they can't drink, they can't do this, they can't do that. They would rather live outside than do that. Fine, do that. All right. And now I'm going to tell you a little story about something that's up before we go to the county council budget. And that is, it's up right now. People living in their vehicles because it's more economical. All right. Planet Fitness is trying to avoid that $10 a month thing and selling it to people because they're only coming in and taking showers and using the bathrooms in there for the purpose of living in their vehicle. They don't work out. They might, some of them, but not all of them. And there's a Planet Fitness just about everywhere. So wherever these people go, they can find a Planet Fitness or a workout gym or something to go in and get a free shower or a YMCA. Okay. But there are people who are living in their vehicles because they're tired of paying taxes. They're tired of trying to pay rent. And they can go anywhere and park their vehicle and live. Okay. And they like it. I know a guy who lives in a vehicle. He posts his videos on YouTube. And he's a nurse, makes a lot of money, banks his money, lives in his vehicle. The only thing he has to fix is his vehicle. He's made some adaptations here and there to his vehicle for cooking purposes and whatever. Okay. You can put up a canopy in the summertime, sit right outside the back of your vehicle and enjoy yourself. All right. And not have to worry about the hustle and bustle of, living in a place, paying a landlord high rent, which is about to go up because of this new property tax thing if Sarah Alvarado passes it. And again, those of you who do not know, Sarah Alvarado is our county executive here in Allegheny County. And she wants to have a tax of 47% for property taxes to make up for a deficit. Because what they did was she made some promises and had to fulfill them. She raised county employees their wages up. She offered to raise the sheriff's department up. They said no. Offered to raise the district attorney's pay. They said no. I watched the department presentation on YouTube, and you can check it out too. It's on Allegheny County Council's YouTube channel. I watch all the meetings, and a lot of the folks who are the county council representatives, which I'm planning on doing in 2027, or possibly with the guy I have up in my area here, because I don't need that many. If I run in my area, I will not need a lot of signatures. If I run against Bethany Hallam, which I want to do in 2027, I will need a whole heap of signatures. All right. Because at the one time years ago, Robert McCulloch had to step down from county council, and I was running for his seat of county council person at large. I needed 500 signatures, and what depressed me about this whole thing was a guy signed my petition and then makes the remark that, well, here, I'll sign this and make you a thief. And I didn't like that because I'm not a thief. All right. So I'm not getting into politics to be a thief. I'm getting into politics to make a difference. Something county council doesn't do. A lot of people don't even know who their county council person is. One thing Bethany Hallam and I do agree on is the fact that nobody knows. A lot of people in Allegheny County have no clue who their county council person is. All right. But this new budget, they're going to have to cut some different directions here, or they're going to have to figure something out because the COVID money went bye-byes. They used it all. They're going to be able to get through the end of this year with it. After that, it's a deficit. All right. And Sarah Alvarado is going to lie, because what's happening is Sarah said, and I quote, that there will be no new taxes to be raised. And now all of a sudden you want to do a property tax assessment because you're finding out now that you're out of tax money. And you want to know why you're out of tax money? Because you, Sarah, Bethany Hallam, and all the rest of you progressive Democrats will not continue to stick it to the corporations in this town, not giving them tax breaks to where they're not building anything here for their corporations, and where you can get a lot of tax money from them, and you're not doing it because you don't want to. We have vacant buildings downtown that are being turned into living residences because we can't get corporations here. Cleveland, Detroit, Columbus, St. Louis, and a few other cities are beating us in all this because of you progressive Democrats who live in Pittsburgh area here are causing this problem. And now you don't have enough tax base because you've gone on and you've pissed so many corporations off by saying, I'm not going to give them a tax break. They make all kinds of money. Well, corporations are the ones who produce jobs, who produce, like, let's say, for instance, if 6,000 people move into an office building, I'm just giving you an example. I'm not saying that's how many would, but let's say 6,000 people go into a office building in downtown Pittsburgh. All right. Those 6,000 people will patronize the stores, will patronize the restaurants, the ones that are still open, patronize the bars, patronize everything downtown. That means the small businesses downtown make money and you get more taxes because you've got mercantile tax, you've got all that stuff. People who work downtown, they'll get taxes taken out of their pay because they work in the city of Pittsburgh, Allegheny County. Okay. All that together, and I made it simple, is what you could have done, Allegheny County, but you progressive Democrats. And remember this, everybody, when you go to the polls November 5th and somebody's up there for county council, you vote them out because they're the ones that put you in this position. And I'm not saying it's all their fault. Sarah Alvarado's fault too for making promises she can't keep. That's number one. Number two, I personally don't believe that she has any idea how to run this county. From what I've seen so far, I think she has no idea. And don't forget, your progressive Democrats that you voted in stop fracking in our county parks. That's why our county parks look decrepit. Have you been to South Park lately? I have. I've been there for picnics and parties when I get invited, when I can because I'm handicapped. The parks are decrepit. The buildings are falling apart. And you ban fracking from our county parks, which could pay for everything and will cost you nothing. You see? These are your progressive Democrats. So when your property taxes go up, don't say I told you so. When you lose county services, don't say I told you so. And when you lose all that stuff because you wanted to vote for progressive Democrats, don't say Ralph told you, because I did. And that's Ralph's opinion local on that today. All right. Manchester community getting screwed over some affordable housing. Apparently Manchester was promised some affordable housing, and now they're putting in, and they're doing it again, the city and the county, of course. They're putting up these buildings and they're renting them out to, again, $1,000, $2,000 a month real estate people. You want to be now, I will say that as far as affordable housing goes, all across the city now they're putting them up. They're supposedly be putting up a couple downtown. They've got another one over on the north side that they're putting up for affordable housing. And there's a few other buildings getting ready to go up. So they're progressing. It's going to take a few years, but they're progressing. Okay. But Manchester's getting screwed out of this because supposedly now they're putting up a couple more again. Here we go. Apartment buildings. And I said this, if I become a member of county council and I get voted in, I am going to put an ordinance on the Pittsburgh public schools, because you do business in Allegheny County, that you will not be allowed to sell a school building unless it's sold to people for the interest of a community center or affordable housing. So Manchester, they were supposed to take a couple buildings and turn them into affordable housing, and now they're not doing it. And how do I know that? Because I watch city council meetings and I participate in them I make comments, and I'm a public speaker there. I do it almost every week. Again, I wasn't there this week because I had my eye situation. All right. But let me say this again. Here we are, your progressive Democrats. Here we are, the bozos that you voted in at city council that do absolutely nothing but worry about plastic bags. You have a city council person whose name I'm not going to mention, has a decrepit bridge in her area and didn't know nothing about it. But she's the one who put the legislation in for the ban on plastic bags. You remember that person. You know who that person is. Vote her out. Vote out everybody who does nothing from city council. All right. Manchester getting screwed. That's sad. That really is. All right. Homeless camp. When I wrote these notes, the homeless camp on First Avenue was still there. That was supposed to be tore down months ago. But this past week, they raided it. The city went in there and actually got out. Now, from what I understand, there are some people still living there that are honest. I guess the good homeless people that are living there because they don't have anywhere else to go. But I heard that whole camp's going about to be cleaned up and done because the city went down this week and raided it. They arrested some people for drugs and prostitution again. Okay. So they cleaned that camp up because they got a bunch of complaints and they were moving over to First Avenue trying to stay there after that site was gone. All right. So the First Avenue homeless camp raided, done. They're cleaning it up. It's going to be cleaned up probably within the next 2 weeks, and everybody's gone. They're finding housing for the other people who are living there. They're tearing it all out of there. It's a disgrace that it's there in the first place. And the city should be ashamed of themselves, because if they would have done my plan that I had offered, They wouldn't be having these problems. All right. That's Ralph's opinion on that. All right. City of Pittsburgh. Well, we already talked about that. We already talked about the homeless problem. Porta potties downtown. Oh my. You know, Robert Lavelle. Robert Lavelle ought to be ashamed of himself. Okay. I know for a fact, and I've been to city council meetings where, of course, he's the president, so he's there all the time. And I brought to his attention about the fact that they need to keep open PCTV, which is in his community, one of the ones he represents, which happens to be Manchester, which he's dropping the ball on the housing thing and this. So I didn't get the satisfaction I needed from him or Bobby Wilson, on the other hand. But I will give Bobby Wilson credit. He did move it on to the mayor's office, and the mayor's office did call, and I will be downtown tomorrow to visit the mayor. Okay. Us producers for PCTV are going to go down and meet with the deputy mayor Pollock tomorrow. So those of you wondering what's going on with PCTV, so I could put my quality TV shows back on the air. And my friends like Luther Dupree and Claudia Rosano and Smoke and Jim Frazier, who also do shows, we put quality material on there. And Alan, who puts his show on overnight, and the churches that put their shows on. They could have the youth off the street by having programs for youth about media. Schools can participate. Okay. All right. But no, city council dodged me. They didn't care. They didn't want to take us up. So what I did was I found out that I was able, or we were able to, as producers, able to get a meeting with the mayor tomorrow. So we're going down to the mayor's office, meet with Deputy Mayor Jake Paul tomorrow. Okay. But Robert Lavelle wants to put porta potties downtown. He wants to spend $600,000 on putting 21 porta potties downtown. They had one up on Smithfield. Drug dealers were using it to get high. They were supposed to have them cleaned out every hour or every half hour, monitored and cleaned out. That didn't happen. Whoever set that up, they lied. They have the other one that's down by Gateway Center. Now they want to put more of those up, and they got a grant or something for $600,000 to put up 21 new porta potties downtown. I get it. You want to keep them out of the businesses. You want to keep them out of the office buildings. You want to keep them out. I go to an office building to do my radio show, and they have a combination for you to get into the bathroom. But that's the way it is because this is what happens. Okay. And the businesses don't want people coming in, stealing and doing whatever, and then dirtying up and stinking up and tearing up their bathroom. All right. Can't go into McDonald's anymore because there aren't any downtown. It got so bad that they had to close up. The one on Wood Street had to close up because one of their meat-headed employees decided to go out and assault a customer outside. And that family sued the owner because the owner of the McDonald's did nothing, of course. He had to close down the Market Square location because he had to pay off the lawsuit. That location was losing money because of the derelicts, the homeless, and the degenerates. Now there's no McDonald's for you to go to the bathroom downtown. And I get it. There are people that have complained that there's no place to go to the bathroom. So people will step to the side and pee on the sidewalk. They will do their business and do all that stuff all over the streets and make the streets look dirty, smelly, and disgusting. Okay. So I get it. That's what he's trying to do. But what about helping me out? What about helping out your community over there, Robert Lavelle? Okay. In case you're not aware, Robert Lavelle, I was in Boy Scouts with your grandfather or father. Which one it is, I don't know. Okay. It's been a while. We were in competing troops. I knew your grandfather. I knew him well. Okay. So if he was alive today, he would tell you you're a disgrace because I think you are. Because what did you do for me about PCTV, which is in your community? Absolutely zero. What did you do about this problem that Stanley Lowe, who's the head of the Manchester community group, came down and spoke to you many times about affordable housing in Manchester, and he did nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay. So go ahead and take your joke of porta potties and put them downtown. And if they're not handicap accessible, I will be the first person to complain. That's Ralph's opinion on the porta potties downtown. Beaver County. Let's talk about this guy who is on the government of Beaver County, and the mayor or the solicitor got interviewed by the news recently, who said that she didn't care about the fact that he purchased the old Beaver County Times building. Beaver County Radio claims they were the first ones to do this story, and they were not, which doesn't surprise me because look what they did to me. But anyhow, they claim they were the first ones to deal with this situation, which I find very, very appalling because that's not the case. Okay. The news, Channel 2, Channel 11, and all them all got this before they did. And this guy who is I guess he's a solicitor or he works for the county, decided to purchase the Beaver County Times building. And for some strange reason, bought it at an auction and didn't pay the taxes on it. Okay. For some strange reason, he's not paying the taxes on the building, or he did something in concern with taxes. All right. But there we are, Beaver County, one of the nicer counties around, I guess. I mean, I've been there. I've never had a problem in Beaver County. Very nice. It's a Republican county, mostly Republican politicians. But the city government of Beaver Falls having this person who works in their office. Now, the mayor hasn't said anything either, and this puzzles me to death because if I'm the mayor or whoever is his boss, this guy's boss, I'd fire him. Because it's conflict of interest that you work in the same office that goes and does the auctions or whatever they do for these buildings and collects taxes, and you go and buy this building and then decide you don't want to do your fair share with it. That's embarrassing to Beaver County. It's embarrassing that this is happening and the government does nothing. Here we go. Nothing. We live in a nothing, lazy, who cares society. And this is an example of it. 12th opinion local on that. All right, we got to pay a couple bills here. The original hometown pizza, Moon Township, right on University Boulevard, 412-264-4444. The original hometown pizza. Call them today. Tell them Ralph Williams sent you. Delivery in the Moon area. Also eat in and take out. Hey, if you're going out to the airport, want to stop and get something, pizza. If you're going to a game, a car cruise, whatever you're going to, stop at the original hometown pizza, Moon Township, 412-264-4444. Tom Ralph Williams sent you, get a discount on your order. All right. DJ Fun. Call DJ Fun today. If I can get it up here. Why it's not up. All right, let's try it again. Wow, wonderful. Nothing's coming up. Why? Yeah. Oh, well. Call DJ Fun today if you need a DJ. 412-545-4317 if you need a DJ for any kind of a party or any kind of special event. Call them today. Also, Keystone Coach Works right on Library Road, Route 88 in Bethel Park. Call them today, 412-833-1900. I bought my wheelchair accessible van there. I purchased it there. They also have payment plans, financial assistance is available. Or I don't mean financial, I mean you can finance the vehicle. And they have a wide variety of some low mileage wheelchair accessible vans at good quality. Call there today. Ask for Dawn, 412-833-1900. Tell Dawn Ralph Williams sent you. All right. Fold and Travel Mobility, foldandtravelmobility.com. I always take care of my handicap brethren here. FoldandTravelMobility.com or 1-877-GOT-FOLD is a company that sells folding power wheelchairs to put in your vehicle. So don't make your life inconvenient. Go out and call Fold and Travel Mobility today, 1-877-GOT-FOLD or FoldandTravelMobility.com. Chat with them today. If you can't afford a wheelchair van from Keystone Coachworks or anything, the next best thing is get a folding power wheelchair and put it in your vehicle. That way, when you go to county fairs or you go wherever, you don't need to be inconvenienced. You don't need to be sore. You don't need to be not be able to walk, and your life is miserable. Don't make it be miserable again. And go out and get this. FoldandTravelMobility.com. All right. Digital data. Call Digital Data today, 1-877-276-9090. Excuse me, 276-9604. Digital Data did my website, www.rwmediaproductions.com. They can do yours too at a low monthly price, and they upload everything. So this show, if I send it to them, they will upload it onto my website. They will upload my radio show. They will upload my photos. Whatever I want done, they will do at one low monthly price. So call them today or get on digitaldata.com. All right, or check Google out for them as well. 1-877-296-9604. Digital Data. Tell them Ralph Williams sent you. All right. We're in the Mata Heating and Air Conditioning Studios, 724-201-0500. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. All right, draftnation.com. Now, look, Tuesday on the Sports Corner Show, 4 to 5 p.m., with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier. We have two guys from draftnation.com coming on. JT Toth at 4:30, Joe Kuglis. They're coming on to talk sports with us. Best draft coverage, best draft shows. They have podcasts, baseball, all different types of topics, hockey. They also get involved in the NFL, college football, and college sports as well. All the different drafts, draftnation.com, the experts at this. Also, get on their website, sign up for their e-magazine, $9.99 a month. They'll put it in your inbox, draftnation.com. All right. Okay, please don't forget about November 9th, the new Ralph Williams Show, 8 to 9 a.m., 12:50 a.m., 92.5 The Answer. And that's with myself, Ralph Williams, my new show. It's great to have that show there. And I want to thank management of The Answer for letting me put that on the air as well. The new Ralph Williams Show, November 9th, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 12:50 a.m., 92.5 FM, The Answer. And punch up Google, punch up The Answer, Pittsburgh, scroll down to radiostations.com. You can listen to it there as well. Every Saturday, also on the Answer, 2 to 3 p.m. Sports Corner with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, Luther Dupree, 12:50 a.m., 92.5 FM, and on theanswer.com. All right. Okay. Also, don't forget about Tuesday as well, 5 to 6 p.m. Wrestle Talk with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier. Our guest this week at 5:30 will be the referee Mark Charles III. He will join us. He is a local independent wrestling referee, and we're going to find out what he's up to these days with that as well. And don't forget on Saturdays, 9 a.m., the External Bum Show. We talk about bums in sports and other topics. Ralph Williams, Scott Morganroth, Leo Haggerty, Jeremy Ballrick, the External Bum Show. All right. Okay, let's get into our home stretch here and get ready to wrap up shortly here. McKeesport School District at it again. At it again. You want to know what's next? How about a teacher getting involved with a student? How about the janitor getting busted out in the back in the parking lot with drugs? How about the security guard who had sex with a student and got the student pregnant? Or vice versa, whatever. I don't know how that, but I was told it happened in some sequence. Okay. How about the school district's superintendent stepping down? 4 different incidents that I just gave you there in the McKeesport School District. When is it going to stop? When are people going to understand that this is going on here and this is an ongoing problem with the McKeesport School District? Okay? All right? It has to end. Somehow or another, I think the state needs to come in and take the school district over and clean it up. 4 different incidences that I just talked about here. Excuse me. Getting a little sip there. But anyway, 4 different instances that I just gave you there of what's going on with the McKeesport School District. So, someone please go to your state representative or go to your state senator and encourage him to get to the governor and have the governor send in the state education people and take over the school district. Clean house. Because this kind of stuff is unacceptable. And it should be for any parent who has a child at the McKeesport School District. Okay? And it's making the town look bad too, because McKeesport's had enough problems over the years. All right? But now, this latest incident really puts the icing on the cake. Because now you have a teacher getting involved in a sexual relationship with a student. I sit there every night and I watch the news and I go, what's next for the McKeesport School District? I'm glad that I'm not a parent that sends my child to the McKeesport School District. So what does that do now? That gets decreased enrollment, and you have to compete with charter schools. You have to compete with cyber schooling. All this competition out there now for school, and the Catholic schools are coming back. They're coming back because of you. Because of you, the school districts who don't know what to do with take care of your district with these students and teachers. The janitor caught in the back parking lot selling drugs. The janitor. He hasn't been fired. A teacher caught having sexual relations with a student. A security guard who got, I think it's got a female student pregnant. Why, McKeesport? Why? Why do you do this? What is the problem here? And I think the state needs to come in and take it over and clean it up. Okay, Governor Shapiro is talking about educational funding for school districts. Don't give it to McKeesport. Send the state in to clean it up and give them nothing until it's clean. Governor Shapiro, you want great education in this state? Then why aren't you cleaning it up right now? This is the 4th incident that actually 3 incidents and one in the resignation of the school superintendent because of a scandal involving money that she said she wasn't involved in. So that's 4 different things that I just said right here that warrant to me that the state or somebody should come in and take over the school district. Fire everybody that's a board member. Tell them all to step down. Because this, to me, is unacceptable. And you, as a parent who sends your kid to McKeesport High School or McKeesport School District, should be ashamed of yourselves, too, for not doing anything about it. Why? Why do you let these things happen? You know, it takes 2 to tango. There's a lot of blame to go around for this. That's Ralph's opinion on that. All right. Hold on. I got to look at something here. Hold on. All right. Oakmont has a cat ordinance. You live in Oakmont now, you have to watch how many cats you have. And they're doing it because of these communities who don't have an ordinance, and people have 600 cats in their home and 500 dogs. I mean, I'm not saying that's what they do, but I think you get the point of what I'm saying. Okay? All right? And that's a shame that people have hoard cats and dogs, that Oakmont had to come up with an ordinance. And nobody's complaining about it because they like it. There's too many stray cats running around because you let their cats have babies, and then the kittens and the babies, they grow, they run all that, they multiply. So if you have one cat that has 8 babies, you've got to get rid of some of the kittens because there's an ordinance now. Okay? If you live in Oakmont. And again, I don't blame them for doing this because they got too many cats running around as strays. And there's no place to put none of these people. The Animal Rescue League is begging for people to adopt. Nobody's adopting because they're dumping pets out there because they can't take care of them. because pets are like children, and you have children you can't take care of, and you can't take care of your pets either. So now Oakmont has decided to go with this ordinance. I don't have a problem with it. I don't live in Oakmont, so it doesn't bother me. I want to, but I don't know if I can afford to. Oakmont's a very nice community that doesn't put up with the garbage that goes on in other communities, including the city of Pittsburgh. Okay. I, being a resident of the city of Pittsburgh. All right. The statue, removing a Jewish statue from Alderdice High School. Let me ask you this. What do you stand to gain stealing a statue or defacing or a statue at Alderdice High School? Why? Okay, let me tell you something. There are those of you out there who are angry with Israel because Israel is fighting Hamas. Now, let me ask you a question. And this is a logical statement here that I'm going to make because you know I'm right. Let me ask you, if someone came and destroyed your property, or somebody came and stole your child, if somebody came and did something to you, like Hamas has done to Israel, what would you do? Enough said. You would do something about that, right? So let Israel do what they need to do. Okay? And stop defacing property, stop beating up people in Oakland, stop harassing Jewish people because they're from Israel. Okay? Stop doing it. Get a life. You don't have a life, so you want to go and deface a statue in front of Alderdice High School where kids go to school. Squirrel Hill is a nice community, and you want to deface things. It's bad enough that we had the synagogue shooting. Now we got this problem. All because people hate Israelis, they hate Jews. It's hate. It's hate. You know the only thing I hate? I hate idiots. I hate degenerates. I hate morons. And I hate people who are lazy, that don't want to work. That's my hate. Or I'll put it to you this way. It's not hate. It's I don't like. Okay? And I go like this all the time because you know why? It needs to be fixed. So now you want to go deface a statue because you don't like the Jewish community and you don't like what Israel's doing to Hamas. Why? Are you from Hamas? Are you a Palestinian? You don't like it? Well, why don't you tell your people to stop messing with Israel? I have said this on this program, not on this show, because this is local, but I'm saying it now. But I've said it on my Ralph's Opinion show and the way I see it in many other shows. Do not mess with Israel. It's simple. If the Palestinians and the Hamas would give up the hostages and quit playing around and stop attacking Israel, Israel will stop attacking them. So, because you're so mad at Israel, you steal a statue from Alderdice High School. This is the society we live in today, and that's Ralph's Opinion Local. Have yourself a great day. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you back again Wednesday at the normal time of 7 p.m. Ralph's Opinion. And then at 8 p.m., Ralph's Opinion Local. 9 p.m., I'm on the NFL Roundtable on Kneecap Biting Broadcast and Huddle Sports Network. And then at 10:30, I'll possibly be on with Peter Blake, depending on hurricane and I had my eye condition this past week, so I couldn't be on with Peter. But it's good to see all of my Florida buddies back up and running. Everybody have yourself a great night. God bless. And don't forget 7 o'clock, the Bible Capsule Show. We talk about faith. Have a good one. God bless. Be safe.